Greetings, Mosano listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Big Ben.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for y'all.
You don't hear that, Travis?
You don't hear that static?
You don't hear all that static?
Oh, no, I don't hear it. That's because I have my phone in my hand and the cord.
I can hear.
Yeah, that's the cord.
Sound like Chris in a bag of chips.
Y'all can't do. Hey, you got music for us, fam? Or we messing with you too much?
No. I do have music. Hold on, I gotta
Okay.
set it up. I do have music now. Just
bear with me. I
bear
picked some
with me.
stuff that make no sense.
No. This one,
It always
actually,
makes sense to him, Chris.
I'm well aware.
No. I was gonna say this has some colorful language in it, because I couldn't find the clean version. So,
It's that kind of show.
yeah.
Oh,
No, it's not. It's not
set
that.
it up.
This is
Somebody
this is
gonna
somebody.
the head.
This is. All right, I'm gonna
All
play.
right, man. Disclaimer is out there. Go ahead.
Yes.
Rock with it.
Let me know if y'all can hear the music.
Taste this, kick in the clap, 808 bass hit. On God, I don't know how I made it. Tapped in, flow say, ooh, got me faded. Parallel to 9042, that's my favorite. Go Stewie, little Rudy, cooking up for the cookies. Blap hard, kicky booty, I ain't even in my Gucci. I just roll a little dookie, I be vibing for the pack with milk. Dummy, stupid, what would I attract? Don't chase it, it just in me, lick away. I know they love me, exquisite bitch. She run to me like I'm hella red. Ay, you see my aura, I'm heaven sent. Bust it right in front, had to yike for the infinite. Ay, recreation of self. I see with my 3 eyes, I needed to have favorite. I'm your motherfucking favorite. The champagne flutes toast better when you make it shining. I ain't even pull out the bracelet, yeah. And I look amazing. Bitch, I'm your favorite.
All right. Why you look at
Los.
at your face, Los?
Bruh, like, this should be like a gong button or something. I could just go like I hit that big gong, like gong, gong. I didn't. What is that, like a stripper song or something? That's like a strip. That's like one of those strip club songs that don't make no sense. They just got a hot beat, and it's kind of like you just keep talking over the beat.
You're old.
No, seriously though, like you know what I mean. That's like, what is it?
You're oh. What is it?
Yeah, who was that? Like, what was? I don't even know who that. What was that?
Chris, do you know who that was?
Gong. The gong.
That is a new song that just came out 3 days ago by a fellow martial artist.
Well,
Former martial artist.
former. He's a former.
Rudy Raynon. That's why it sounds like something straight from California.
It does.
It 100% sounds like something straight from California.
It does.
Rudy? You remember Rudy?
Rudy's fire.
Yes, Rudy Raynon.
Are you
Paul Mitchell? Forms. He's a Forms weapon guy. He's after you. You
Valera.
weren't paying
He used to
attention.
be on Valera. He was the kid on Valera. Him and James Solis. Like, nah. Rudy's nah.
I know Rudy's dope. Like a lot of stuff that people are doing now, Rudy was the man who did it.
Rudy is dope.
I actually liked it. It's funny.
Period.
I actually like the song. Out of most people's stuff, I actually like the song. It was just kind of, it's like, yo, I was like, oh, all right. Huh. I actually did mind the song. That's why I played it, because I didn't mind the song. I actually
that beat is fire.
Yeah.
I gotta sit and digest.
He produced it also.
Yeah, I know that he's been making music like that for a long time now. I think he's really kind of doing it serious now. But no. Rudy's been doing this forever.
Yep.
So when you said former fellow martial artist, I was like, oh snap, that's James Poor. I thought it was James Poor's music. James does
you
the
said former,
and I was like, all right, I don't know who it is then.
Nah, James does the
when you said former, I thought it might have been Rudy, because I know he just dropped some music not too long ago too.
He had James has more like an auto-tune sound, more of that sound. That I don't know. No, not really more T-Pain. It's more like the future style of like that music that they do where they're using auto-tune, but it's kind of a little off. He has a different sound with that. Like it's more the younger sound, which is more like that the sound of today or whatever it is that a lot of the kids use. But yeah, so James has a different sound completely. That sounded like straight California to me. Like when I heard it, I was like, "Yo, that's
Cali bounce." That's NorCal bounce too.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh,
Bay Area swag right there."
Yeah, actually, one of his songs on Spotify had like I think like 1 million. Let me look at it because I gotta look back at it because I was like, dang, what? All right,
Is under RU.
Yeah, RU and then RU spelled
Yeah.
correctly.
RU.
Yeah.
Are you what?
But
R.
yeah,
U and then RU. AREU.
are you going somewhere? And like, are you?
Are like R like ARE or R?
Yes.
Both.
Says both. It's RU, the letter R, the letter U, then space, then the word R, the word U. Are you?
Am I what?
That's
Okay,
what it is.
All right, old man. All right,
That's foul, Trap.
let's get on. Because no, he want to listen to KRS-One. All right, so let's go ahead and come.
Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Like something that we could really listen to.
Yeah, listen to this guy. All right, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour.
No, are you though? Are you really? Are you really sponsored? Are you? Are you sponsored?
Oh yes, we are. Are we gonna name this RU? Or is that we gonna name this RU? We're gonna name this podcast this episode.
By what?
We are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. Coming up February 26th. It's going to be Ladies' Night. Hey, ladies. We have, I think, about 7 or 8.
Bunch of fights. Bunch of fights.
Announced the more fights. We're gonna get more into that later. But make sure you guys go and get your tickets now because it is a celebration of women, a celebration of ladies fighters. They're gonna be out there performing. They're gonna be fighting. Can't wait to see them. We just added. I think they just added another fight where it's 2 10-year-olds. So you get to see the future. You get to see the present. All going to be out there. I had some conversations yesterday with Regina.
Yes.
We're discussing about some people who are going to be on the broadcast and who might actually be there in the building.
Nice.
And I'm not, until it's official, I can't say anything, but
right.
It might be kind of fire. So it's going to be pretty fire. So if we get these people, it's going to be kind of dope. So we'll see. But before that,
yes,
coming up February 5th.
The 5th.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5th.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5th.
It will be Central Sports Grand Prix.
What was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th? What is that? What is that?
Jesus, you're so old. All right.
No, I can't help you. I listen. I was kind of with you on that one, but I can't help you on that one.
It's off Dave Chappelle, man, when he was doing the Plead the Fifth.
Oh, all right, okay, yeah.
He was doing that episode where he was pleading the fifth, the whole episode.
So many memories.
Yeah.
I didn't see that episode. Like, you both were on the same page. That's you guys got. Your connectivity is great. It's great. Why am I echoing?
I have no idea. I heard it too. Because you changed positions. That's why.
My bad.
Anyway,
you were laying down like the Luther Vandross.
We are off to a banging start for this episode. we are so cohesive this week.
Oh man.
Where we at? Oh yeah, Central Sports this
Central
Saturday.
Sports on the 5th.
Yes, February 5th.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
There we go. Yes.
All right. I'm in now.
It's gonna be a transformational event. There's going to be 8 fighters, and they're going to be fighting using Central Sports, where if you get hit, you're gonna light up. Really sent me the list. You now have the match right now.
Trav, you don't hear that?
You hear it now?
Nope. I couldn't hear nothing because I was jamming to whatever you was listening to.
Oh, it was some music playing again?
Yeah.
Are you playing music?
Are you?
Are you? Are you?
Lost. Come on, man.
Are you playing music or are you? What are you doing? I'm confused. My bad.
Oh my God. All right. I didn't know what to say about this. All right. Back to February 5th, people. This Saturday, it's going to be Central Sports. We have the list of the fighters who will be competing against each other. First off, let me go ahead and run off the names of all of the competitors who will be going up against each other. It's going to be Willie.
Mm-hmm.
Love.
Yes, sir. It's going to be Vito Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be Leo.
That's a rematch. Ain't that a rematch?
No, they're not fighting each other. They're not fighting each other. I'm not. No.
Yeah, I could say who was matching. That's a rematch.
It depends on how the brackets go. I don't know if do we have the brackets out yet or not yet.
I have the brackets.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to name off all the people who were competing. Right.
Okay.
First off. All right. So, geez. All right. Why do you? Okay. So we got.
You're distracted, bro. You get distracted.
Charlie Davidson. We got Charlie Davidson. We got Jersan Kennedy. We got wait a minute, this name is different. Yeah, because I think Manny we got Shadi Atawa. All right. We got we got Peter. I got to get all these names right because it's in cursive. Peter Chartoni. There we go. We got a lot of people. All right. So now we got Peter versus Jersan, Willie versus Leo, Vito versus Charlie, Lito versus Shadi. All right. That's going to be the first round. I believe that's how it's going to go, people. And when they compete against each other. Best of 3 rounds. 90 seconds for each round. All right. Whew. Man, I butchered that.
Kind of. 90 seconds in each round.
Yep.
Yes.
Best of 3. So you got to win 2 out of the 3 rounds.
Now, you guys said something about a point. Is there a point thing, or we find that out?
We'll find that out on Wednesday. On Wednesday, Chad and Carmichael will be on Inside Scoop Live. So make sure you guys tune in. You guys will be able to answer any questions about the technology. You'll be able to answer questions about this upcoming event, the Grand Prix, Strike League Grand Prix event that's coming up this Saturday. I also have new gear that just came out by VTech that they're going to be using for this particular event, that with the sensors already baked into them. So a lot of times when we saw the previews and what they had before, they had straps to the head and things like that. You won't have that this time. It's going to be straight in there. Now, Chris, do they still do growing kicks in Texas? I think some parts. I think some parts
I know they do at some places. I hope they're not doing that for the sensor.
Imagine if they did growing kicks and they had the little sensor on a growing kick, and when it hit, you have your helmet lit up.
Light up the eyes, boys.
Yeah, I was going to 3 ninjas. Yes, I was going to 3 ninjas. Yes, I was going to 3 ninjas.
Bro.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Every time you say they light up, I'm like, light up the eyes.
Oh my God, we are off to a banging start. I hope you guys enjoying this show tonight, boy, because I'm kind of confused about where this is going. We're gonna get into that a little bit later.
So I asked the question in Texas because I know Texas used to have growing kicks. I don't know if they kind of got away from it. You said certain parts of it. Does Cali
I think certain parts still do it.
Was it like Detroit ever do
West Coast
kicks?
fighting when they have West Coast divisions?
Detroit got rid of that a long time ago. Chicago was still doing it.
I did have them, right?
We did have them. Chicago used to have them. Chicago was like Chicago, Texas, and California used to be like the 3 major ones that I know of that still had growing kicks. Ohio used to have them. So okay.
There you go.
I remember growing up.
Florida hasn't had them since the 80s at least.
Growing up, we had them in Michigan. We had them in Ohio we had them in the Midwest. But it depended on what tournament you went to, whether or not they were still there. I
hate even odd years for NBL, boy.
Yep, odd years they had
the going to Texas Challenge for the first time, throwing leg, bow, point. I didn't pick up my leg for the rest of the event.
Yeah, that's what, first time I fought Brian. The only time I fought Brian Plimple, I was down to South Carolina. It was an odd year, and I came out kicking, and he backed up in the corner like he always did, and he did that drop kick right there. This is big Brian. This is not little Brian. This is not when Brian got in shape. This is big Brian, and I'm only 160 pounds at this point. I'm just lanky. Oh man, he tore me up that whole fight. Oh man, he destroyed me. Yeah, he lit me. He lit more than that.
Your shit have been going crazy.
Yeah. All right.
But no, yeah, they're probably not gonna do groin kicks for this one.
They will not be doing. I'm almost.
I'm willing to bet money they're not doing groin kicks. I'll just say that.
Besides Vito and Willie, who do we know about the other fighters? Or what do we know about the other fighters?
Chris.
Go ahead.
Chris?
No. Lito and what you call Manny. Is Manny still on there? No,
Manny stepped out. He can't do it. So it's only 8 fighters now. It's 8 fighters. So he was the one who stepped out.
Okay. So Lito's from Gypsy. Lito's a good young fighter, making his own way in the lighter weights.
Charlie Davidson was supposed to be on Inside Scoop. I don't think he's going to be on there.
Okay.
Because we have chat. I think he might be on afterwards than the prior week. But unless we squeeze him in some way, but we're still trying to figure that out. But yeah, go ahead.
Peter, I went there. Diamonds, he won with light heavyweight. Peter's been around for a while. Yeah,
he's been around for a while.
Yeah, Peter's a good fighter as well. He'll surprise you. And especially with this sensor thing and not being, eyes and vision call, but by actual contact, we could see the fights play out a whole lot different than what we would typically think. So we'll see how this works out. But I think
Gypsy not fighting.
What?
The Tice kid from Gypsy not fighting? Is there a kid named Tice from Gypsy?
Yeah, Tice Talbot.
Mr. Gypsy Man, Tice Talbot.
Yeah, Mr. Gypsy Man.
Yeah, no, he's not fighting.
Why is that?
You said why not?
I don't know, but my guess would be that there's 2 guys from Gypsy right now. I mean, it can't really be. I wouldn't think it would be like a whole Gypsy show. I know there's a lot of good fighters on that team from Texas, but like,
is Chance retired?
Is Chance retired? No. So doing these different events where set matches, it's always I'm gonna say it's always better to get the hungrier fighters as opposed to the ones that are already established that might actually Chance and I think Chance and Tice may have something else they may have done or might be doing. They may have different reasons why they don't fight. I don't know, but a lot of the times when you're trying to get these set matchups, it's harder to get the more notable competitors just for the simple fact that they kind of require certain things.
You can say they demand for it.
Just to clarify, though, like there's no more notable fighter in Texas besides Willie.
I believe Willie asked to do it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think Willie and Vito were
part of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Willie and Vito saying that they wanted to do it, but then turn around and you're going to grab like Chance or Alex or Tice or some of the ones who are out and might have a more notable name. I mean, it's just that would be a crazy Grand Prix. I'll tell you that much. But but at the same time, trying to get all those guys on the same page and when you can do it, when people might have other obligations, who knows? Especially when
Alex and Jeff asked that question on your show. When you get them on the show, ask them the question.
Yeah.
Alex, step up, Alex. Come on, Skip.
He's gonna say that,
Come on, Skip.
But
ask the question. I'm not Skip.
But with that being said, because of all of that, I mean, and since Willie and Vito are in separate brackets, I think more than likely it will come down to those two.
And then that would be the rematch of the virtual fight tour that didn't get finished, right?
That is correct. It would be.
Didn't get started.
Yeah.
They got started. Did they get started? They got started.
They started. It didn't last very long.
I think it was like 45 seconds, a minute and a half in or something.
But it got started. You can't say
you know what I mean.
I know what you say, but you can't literally say they get started if they actually went for 45 seconds. I remember that. Like, I was looking forward to that event and that fight, and that happened, right? So,
Chris, you gonna let him talk to you like that?
I'm just saying in general. I'm not talking to him any kind of way, Travis. I'm saying in general, he said never got started. I'm like, well, it didn't get started. They just didn't finish.
Well, technically, it did get started. They just said bow, touch, and go. It got started. I got you. I didn't really get going.
Gotcha. We didn't see much.
Right.
All right.
So,
Chris, about this past weekend, go ahead.
I really focused on one event.
Before you do that, real quick, make sure you guys go ahead and get your tickets. The link will be on Martial Arts Center Network. So make sure you guys go ahead and get your tickets now. Don't wait. Go ahead, because we are going to be streaming live this event. You will hear us talking on the actual event, commentating. So make sure you guys go ahead and get your tickets right now and support sport martial artists trying to move the sport forward. All right, people. We've talked about this a lot over the last, I don't know, actually since we've been on here 2.5 years ago. We've been talking about pushing the sport forward, doing things differently.
Yep.
And Chad has decided he wants to come out and do that. So make sure you guys go ahead and support Chad, because putting on an event when it is, you never know how it might go, man. So make sure you guys support and get that link and support. And yeah, it'll be on Martial Arts Center Network. All right, Chris, go ahead. Let's recap what happened this past weekend.
Like I said, I really focused on one event, and some, obviously it's close to me anyway. I focused on Florida. USA Sport Karate had their year opening event as a local, regional, whatever you want to call it, event. Drew 500 competitors with double elimination fighting in all divisions with grands. Was still done by 6:00.
Pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. It's really good.
You a silly man. They do a thing for age divisions called open rank. So open rank,
not open weight. Open rank.
6 and 7-year-old male. Open rank. Listen, these numbers, like 6 kids, 8 and 9-year-olds were 17 kids, 10 and 11-year-old were 27 kids, 12 and 13-year-old 33 kids, 14 to 17-year-olds 26 kids. And that's all in the male division. Female division, 8 and 9-year-olds 10 kids, 11 kids in the 12-13 division, 14 to 17 were 13 kids, and you're pulling. And these are double elimination divisions.
How heartbroken would a black belt be if they lost to like a purple belt or a gold belt?
You probably ain't even got no belt on. Right? If it's open rank, you probably wouldn't even wear your belt.
I mean, if you're a gold belt,
you would have to wear a belt for borders and above belt and below belt or something. You'd have to wear a distinguishing at least garments. But I don't know. I've been on one side of that. I've never been on the other side of that. So I don't know, fam.
Look.
For some, it will probably.
But if you get smashed by an underbelt like that.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, you understand, man. Chris is about to get smashed in Virtual Fight Tour if I wasn't there.
Listen.
If I wasn't there, like, Chris, you better get it together. He's trying to take it from you. You got to explain this when we get back on the show, Chris. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Man, I feel like I need to
happen, Travis. We would have had to have this conversation.
We would have had a different conversation. Let's just be honest. If Chris came on here, if he had lost that fight, we would have been clowning.
I don't think I could come on the show on Monday, to be honest with you. I don't think I'd have been sick. I'd have pulled my back, like I'd have broke my back. It was spinal, all of that.
We would have been clowning, boy. We would have been
all right, man. Listen, this all right. We took a turn.
Hey.
No, we didn't. We was right in topic.
This is the show.
Yeah, you said within the show, what would a black belt feel like if they lost to an underbelt?
It would probably be pretty bad.
Yeah.
It went on then.
If Chris didn't take that 8-point spread, you mean if he didn't really get that 8-point spread, 9-point spread, then we was close. When it got to 6, I was a little nervous. A little spin kick, cartwheel kick or something would have caught him.
So, what else happened in Florida, Chris?
God dang.
Anything can happen at the Virtual Fight Tour.
Anything. Now they had notable fighters. They had good fighters there in the adult divisions. Kendall Willis won 18 to 20-year-old division. John Curatola won lightweight. Devin Hopper won middleweight, and Joseph Brackett won heavyweight. John Curatola winning the overall grands. I watched the fight between Devin and John, and it was a good fight. It was well called. Like it was good stuff.
I'm
I
just
don't
glad
know
to see Devin back out there.
I said, let's
That's
give
what
Devin
I'm
a shout
on.
out because there was a little. I saw a little post a while back that he didn't come fight in Florida or something like that. So he was there.
Yeah.
Fighting. Good for him.
Yeah.
Come on, Devin.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just all. I'm just glad to see him fight back, just because of the injury he had, and
Right.
I know him trying to get back to it. So I'm just happy to see him back out there competing.
Absolutely, and watching him do well at it. These last few weeks.
I mean, he's always had talent.
Absolutely.
He's not like coming back. He's starting over. Like he's kind of coming back and right in the mix of everything still. So that's very good.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's always had talent. So I'm just glad to see him back out there competing and fighting and getting out there and winning. But he went up against somebody,
right?
Huh? I think so.
Mindset might have changed too, like because it got taken away from him. Like you know what I mean? Now he's like, you know what? It got taken away from me. Now I'm more hungry than I was before. Like you know what I mean? Like he might be really coming after it now.
Yep. Yeah, he looked good at AKAs
in his life. So like, when things
he looked good
happen,
at AKAs.
Like,
he won the middleweight division at AKAs. He looked good fighting out there at AKAs. He won the middleweight grand. He got to the finals against Cam, so he looked good out there. So applause to him, to that man.
Yep.
And he was in the finals at open weight against Darren. And it was a 1-point match. So or win by 2. I don't know what that happened. I thought he won by 1, or I don't know.
He had to win by 2.
I think you had to win by 2. I don't know. But I don't know if they actually did it. I think it was 1-point win for Darren. Honestly, I think now that I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. I think Darren.
What was the rule?
The rule is that at AKAs is you still had to win by 2. That's the rule. But they, sometimes people may not have gone by that rule. I don't know. So, it's normal sport karate stuff that's been happening for the last 70 years. Same stuff. All right. Continue. You got any more, Chris, on that? Continue.
As I was talking to a couple of different people from the event, I think the biggest thing that they wanted to showcase, and they did, was the efficiency that they run at, and what it takes to do that is a good officiating team, a good scorekeeping team, and obviously to do what they did, they pulled that off as a group really, really well. So shout out to those guys down there in Florida, Jeremy and Dave Sklar and that whole organization. They really are doing a great job to show that at that. I mean, those numbers, 500, that's a big number with that many people in a fighting division doing double eliminations, judging all day, being able to not hit those, judges get tired and start walking away, go eat a sandwich, go to the bathroom and not come back and whatnot. And that's usually what causes a lot of the lollygagging in the time and a couple other things. But for that to happen, kudos, you guys.
Kudos, people. Yes, and I think that is correct. It does take that staff to run that event efficiently, and I think that's overlooked a lot. To be honest with you, I think that's overlooked as far as
it 100%. We talk about it every week about what we think should happen and what needs to happen, and I think everybody agrees on it, but nobody knows how to pull the trigger or wants to do it or whatever.
At the end of the day, Los was right last week, and he said, "Hey, wait a minute."
Hey, he looked up at that one.
What happened? Right. He stopped looking at his phone at that one.
I said Los
was right.
He said
Los was right.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Travis. Let me let you finish. I don't want to. I interrupted him, Chris. Let him say what he's about to say. Go ahead, Travis.
Basically, Los said, hey, how long have we been saying this? This is stuff that we've been saying for the last 20, 30 years. There's nothing new. Everybody's been saying the exact same thing. So is anybody actually doing anything about it? And Los is right. Like, everybody complains. We always complain. We get on social media and complain about whatever. We talk behind each other's back about it, and we say stuff to each other's face and argue about it. We arbitrate about stuff. But at the end of the day, something has to happen. Actions have to be put, and there has to be some way to force change.
One thing I want to say, I thought a little bit more about what we talked about last week. And myself as a competitor, I felt like, I won a lot of fights. I lost a lot of fights. I don't recall myself saying I lost a fight because of a bad judge. I always felt like I always chalked it up as I lost a fight because I didn't do enough to make that judge validate or feel that I earned that point or whatever. Like, or maybe that person didn't score on me. I'll give you an example. Like, there's one time I was fighting with Trevor. How Trevor shoots in with his body punch, whatever. I swear to God, like, I'm looking and the body punch came in and the body punch missed me by at least 5 or 6 inches, and they called a point for him. At that point, I was thinking to myself, like, this is horrible judging. But my thing was, well, why did I not react the correct way? Like, you mean, why did I let myself stay in that position where he was able just to shoot it on me and me?
Where'd you freeze? Yeah.
Or as opposed to me kind of changing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, at first, that was my first initial thought. And then I had to sit back and think about, like, all right, you know what? Whether that happened or not, it wasn't. The only thing I can control is what I'm doing, right? I can't control the judges. And when we talked about judges too, some of it is arbitrary. Like, you mean, like, we have to be able to fight through that and get through that, whether it be forms or whatever it is. Like, you mean, we know, like, I know if I'm going to compete against David Douglas, he already at a certain level. So I have to really try to raise my level so then he has to raise his level even more. And if he beats me, he beats me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, I don't know, that's kind of how I always took it when I was competing and stuff. And I started thinking a bit more after it. Because we do complain about the judges a lot.
Way too much. Way too much.
And I'm going to say this generation now probably complains more than ours did. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I would like to say that, but I mean, we're still people.
See, I felt like we just fought. Like, you mean, that's like when it came, like, I felt like we fought. Like, you mean, whether it was bad calls, whatever.
Shrugged it and hit somebody harder. Yeah.
I think it was like a lot of arguing with the judges, going to this judge, like, oh, you mean we didn't do it? I didn't feel we did a lot of that. Like, I personally see that. Maybe I could be wrong though.
In my area, at least, the judges didn't put up with that.
Yeah.
Like, so it wasn't in the culture to talk to judges like that.
Well, I'll say this, because I was always quiet and I could hear a lot of people's talk and I wouldn't say anything. And, you know, people just talk freely, kind of, because I didn't say anything. Nobody really cared. I was just kind of like, just a wallflower. I heard a lot of people complaining, and it's been the same way. I think social media now has made things louder.
Yep.
A lot more louder, because I never would have heard certain people complaining because I never interacted with them. So now that I'm Facebook friends with the people that I don't know, I'm seeing them comment on something. Like, if somebody says something and makes a post and complain about the judges, you see everybody who's responding to it, right? Normally, you just only seen that one person. You ain't see the other 30 people who were complaining with them. You only saw that one person back in the day. So now that's how I look at it. It was like, I think
face to face,
yeah, social media just amplified it. But I've heard so many people, and you know who usually are the people who, this would be completely honest, the people who are usually complaining are the people who would normally get 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th place. It's rarely the people who get 1st and 2nd. And if they did say something about the judging, they would say, dang, they missed this call. Judges missed this particular call in that sense, and then leave it alone. And then they get back to it. Like, and I think somebody would check them at that point, because I remember in the here's what you got to think about that 3rd place or that 1st place fighter. They lost to that 1st place, that 2nd place competitor. So in their minds, they would have won if the judges didn't do A, B, and C, as opposed to what they did wrong in that moment. You get what I'm saying? Yep.
So I can totally see that happening.
Yep. And that's usually, but you know, you're Facebook friends with them.
That is true.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's why you're seeing it, because those are the people who are complaining. It's like, it's always that. You never hear the person who won the division or won grand ever complain about judging. You never hear that. You don't hear them saying like, yo, these judges suck, unless they patronizing the person who just lost. Like, oh yeah, congratulations, yeah, the judging, it was too bad, it was bad, it sucked. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, I remember when I complained at the U.S. Open, I had lost in the grands, and I was like, my God, I complained, and I just, and Jody grabbed me and he had texted me back, and he was like, yo, but what happened to the other points? You complained about that one thing.
That one call.
Yep. What happened to the other 3 points that you gave up? Because I think it was like a 5-4 score at the last second, and he scored a side kick underneath my arm. It was Ray Mendoza, and I was like, because after that I would have had KA would have bowed out, and I would have been fighting Alex for the U.S. Open title, and so I was like pissed. Like, I'm like, yo, I cannot believe I just lost this thing. Like, yo. He didn't even score, hit me on the hip. And Johnny was like, doesn't matter. You that fight, the other 3 points, you shouldn't even. He shouldn't be. You should have blanked him. He shouldn't even been that close. He shouldn't even been that close.
That part.
And so it's like, and there's nothing you can say about that.
But like you said, though, we have people who would check us. If we did start saying that, because there were times where I would start and they were like, "No, what else did you do wrong?"
Yep. Oh wait, hold on. Are you checking them? Are you checking your people? Are you? Talking to our listeners, are you? See, y'all don't understand.
Are you? Wait, you or me?
Are you?
Are you?
Are you checking your people?
Am I doing it, or are you asking if you're doing it?
I'm asking, are you doing it? Are you?
I haven't been out in a while.
Check your people.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I am because again, no matter how the level, right? I had to check Chris. Like, Chris, stop playing. Like,
that is
playing. You playing. You know what I mean? And like,
but Chris wasn't complaining about the judges.
If it had started going the other way, he'd have started.
No, listen, I was upset that I didn't get the first off the fence punch because that was the cleanest one, I think. That's the only one I think I did. I was like, "Hey, y'all ain't see that? Come on, man, that was a good one." Oh, right off the bat, like I cut the angle, I jumped off the thing, I did the thing. I got that one.
But are you, Chris? Are you?
Yes.
Oh, we're idiots. All right.
Yes. Yes,
are we done with this talk, or we got more to say?
So John Cortola won the event?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Overall.
Congratulations, John.
The Christian fight?
I don't believe so.
Has he fought? He fought. Where did he fight?
He fought at AKs.
He fought AKs. And they'll be coming up here probably next week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's next week?
You know.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, you know, if we were promoting, then yes, we would talk about them freely. It's not that's the only reason. So, all right,
that's why I said up here, you know,
because we'll talk about after next week. I mean, next week after the tournament, we'll talk about them. 100%. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Man, I'm gonna be there.
So, yes, you will.
Get some video, Chris.
He gonna be judging.
Oh, that's right. Well, you judged it last year, right? That was a kick. That was a kick that changed the world.
What?
You talking
about?
Which kick you talking about?
It's a Brandon kick, right? Wasn't that last year?
With the spin kick?
Oh yeah, but the year before that was the one Kevin threw that 540 that stiffed that kid. Like before Bailey did it,
we were judging. We were judging.
So
I couldn't catch him.
People who are going there this weekend, make sure y'all protect yourselves. Protect yourselves. Because Jesus.
Hands up, fam. Hands up.
Yeah, hands up. Guard yourself, people.
Guard your grill.
All right.
Never mind. Yeah, anyway, continue.
All right. All right, let's get into the.
You say we the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, let's get.
Yeah, no, we jibber jabbered long enough. Goodness gracious.
Who wanted to talk about this?
Who wanted to talk about this? You wanted to talk about this.
No. I have a thought about this. I'm just gonna say this.
Thought about
what? Back in like 2003, there was an exodus. Wasn't that? Is that correct?
There was.
Mm-hmm. It was an exodus from John Paul Mitchell.
It was.
They grabbed their stuff. They didn't like what was happening with the. They felt like they weren't appreciated, and their voices weren't being heard. And some people thought they were, felt disrespected, and so they decided to leave. Said, "Hey, you leaving? I'm leaving. All right, we out." And it was a mass exodus from John Paul Mitchell. Right?
That was 2003.
I think so. It was because 2004 they were on. Y'all were on straight up.
Oh, I thought it was
03. 03 Ocean State.
Yeah, it was 03.
It was 03 Ocean State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, unless it was 04 Ocean State, but I know 04 and AKAs, they were all on straight up. So, anyway, with that being said, there was another exodus this week from a team. I think about 9 adults left KTOC.
So almost 20 years later.
Almost 20 years later, there's another Exodus, people.
They always say history repeats itself.
They do. They do. I don't even know what really to say about this, because all I'm going to the point where it's just like, hey, look, I heard things about what happened. If you guys don't know, then ask somebody. I mean,
that ain't for us.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but if you're listening to this show, you know what happened. You know what was said, and
wait, just really quick. Why would, if they were listening to the show, they would know what happened? They know what was said if they were listening to.
I said, if you listen to our show, then you're a sport martial arts person, and you probably know what happened.
Oh, so you're saying you already in the end of what's going on? You already got the juice that was been going around and floating through the
because it's not like it happened yesterday and we're breaking news. Like, this is something that happened last week. You know, news of it came out last Wednesday, so. Yeah, because Wednesday night, because after Inside Scoop went off, Angel said he's leaving KTOC.
Yep,
they were like 11 or 12 o'clock at night because I think they had
his
like
left too, right?
Yeah, yep, he left.
Who else left?
John Curatolo.
John Curatolo left too.
Yep, Amber Rutherford left.
I don't know.
Melanie Ortiz left.
Melanie left. It's a lot. Like Mike Conroy left. Sam Gagnon left. And like, it was just a lot of people who they just said, you know what, we're gone. You know, the thing I'm going to say is this. When it comes to being on a team, you have to feel respected. People have to feel respected. They have to feel like camaraderie. And I think a lot of the times people put on a uniform and whoever's running the team, the coach in them, may disrespect them or in some way, shape, or form, or the managers or the general managers or the owners of the team may not treat the people with the utmost respect. And that's when you see people leave teams more often than not. Or they just get bored and they just want to leave. But when you have something like that, where it's a lot of people just up and leave and honestly are technically free agents, they're not on another team right now. They didn't leave you for another team. They left you because they didn't want to be around you. You have to look at yourself. You have to turn around and look at yourself and look at what you're doing, because something clearly is wrong if that many people decide to leave you. What are your thoughts about this so far, from what I just said about this, as far as how people treat each other, as far as on this team, and the respect that needs to be given towards athletes? Because honestly, personally, if somebody's not paying my full ride and paying for like my hotel, everything, as well as per diem, why am I on this team? Honestly, for me, I don't get it. That's just me. But I know a lot of people like that feeling of camaraderie and being on the squads and stuff like that. But for me, it was always like, well, I can do this by myself, so I don't really technically need you. And I have, like, if you're not replacing the team I'm already with, that I would rather fight with, like, you know, Willie and Ski and Jermon and all these other guys that I'm with, I grew up with. What am I doing on this team? Like, honestly, why am I here? So I think people have to check themselves about what they can say, what they can do, how they treat their competitors, how they interact with them. I'm gonna stop talking and let you guys talk for a second while I gather my thoughts even more.
Lowe's?
Chris, you can go. I'll give my outside opinion in a moment. You're inside. You are inside. I'm on the outside. So go and do your thing.
I see. I think. No. To what you're saying is, yeah, you got to look at that. If it's a lot of people making the same decision, and there's somebody in the focal point of that, then there has to be something looked at. But I agree with you. Well, no, I agree with you. I've been on the team that I've been on for a long time for a reason. You know what I mean? So like, there's a reason why we do what we do. So I mean, I don't know. I don't really like to. I can't speak on a lot of it because I ain't in on it. It ain't me, you know. So but I don't know. It's crazy to see that many, but I mean, like you said, Mike, Coach Conroy is leaving there, so that always questions things. You got something new in the bag, like, you know, he's always moving around and doing things. So like what is really the causes? What's the reactions? What's the, you know, how's all that play out? But we'll see. We'll see how it rolls throughout the year.
Outsider.
Okay, so here's my thing. You know, you think about what happened with the JPM thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how that all came about, and it was because the players didn't feel respected, they didn't feel like they had a voice, this, that, and the other, right? And I'm not sure what happened with this last thing, but when you have that many people leaving, there's a disconnect between the fighters and whoever the managers and owners and, you know, people of the team is, right? So now, like, it comes down to the next thing. It's like when you're on a team, there's certain teams or certain personas that come with the team, or people that own teams that feel they actually own you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, well, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing that for you, so you have to do this for me. It's actually a mutual thing that we're doing for each other. Right? You need competitors, and you ask me to come represent your team and be a part of what you do, because that puts you and your team in a higher level or a higher light as well. So it's kind of like a one-off for each other. Now, on top of that, yeah, you're taking care of my registration, but you can't treat me in a way where it's like I don't feel like I have a voice, right? Or I feel like you're the owner and I'm the, I don't want to say slave, but I am the competitor, I am the fighter, right? There has to be a balance within that type of relationship. I can say there has been times where I've been asked to be part of teams, and I wasn't part of teams because I just can see the energy.
Yeah.
Of the hierarchy of the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been on teams where I've never ever felt that way because the people that were in that position didn't come at it that way. They came at as a family first, as a true guidance for everyone to get better and to elevate each other. And win, lose, or draw, we all represent and going for the same thing. There was never, ever any demeaning conversation or anything like that made you feel like I'm the owner, you're the peon, or you're the competitor.
Subordinate, yeah.
You're the support. Like, you mean it can't not to say that there doesn't have to be a line. You get what I'm saying? There has to be a certain line that has to be kind of there, right? But that also comes with respect too, right?
Yes.
As much as you want me to respect you, you have me on your team because you have a level of respect for me as well. And when you're not matching that level and we're not able to connect on that level, it just ain't gonna work. So again, it's kind of sad that you see that many people leaving, not really knowing the real behind the scenes and stuff. But again, when I look at the JPM thing, and then I look at, you know, what's happening with this group, was it KTOC?
KTOC.
Yeah. There's something bigger going on than just a couple people leaving and going to a different team or doing it. Like you said, I think someone said they're just leaving the team. They're not leaving a team to go to another team. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different thing. Like, even back when in 2003 or whatever, when that Exes left JPM, they left, but they also went to Straight Up and did a thing with Straight Up for a while, right? So it's kind of
But they waited.
No, they waited. They left the team. They just left the team, and then they got the call from them.
That's why I said
Yeah.
this is kind of.
Right.
It has some similarities to it because
Right.
just the fact that they just left because they didn't want to be with them. It wasn't like
that was their big thing. Then,
like,
and now,
that's a huge testament to the.
That's
to
a
the person,
huge,
right?
Yeah, because at that point you're leaving off because of morals and not because you want to get to a better team, right, or a better situation,
or a better swap sponsor. Or
yeah.
Whatever.
You're leaving because it's not leaving for something. You're leaving to get away from something, and that is a big distinction. If you don't know the distinction between that two, then there's a I don't know what to tell you. You need to read a book or something. I don't know, but
it's true.
It's just a lot of this, man. When sometimes when I sit back and think about it, I sit back and just say, are there too many teams? Because
there's always been a ton of teams. There's always been a couple that have been stand above the rest, but there's always been a ton of teams.
Yeah, but those teams had a synergy because of proximity, not necessarily this new wave of, like, honestly, let's be realistic. When we are competing, when you get into the ring, chances are, more than likely, it's just you and that other person, or it's just you if you're doing forms. It's just you, and maybe if you're doing competitive team forms or something like that, then it's just somebody else. But for the most part, it's just you in that ring, right? And a lot of times you end up fighting somebody from your team, right? The people who are on your team, they may not even be trained anywhere near you. So now my question is, what is the purpose of the team if you're competing against your own team? That's always thrown me off in a little bit, in a sense. I can see if you're training with each other, but the whole concept of everybody with it being a singles competition, mostly, with the exception of team fights, team forms, mostly it's a singles competition, and you're going to be competing against your own person that you're supposed to be cheering for. It makes things awkward. So I always thought it was like just a tad bit weird. I mean, I get it when you get to the grand championship or whatever the case may be, you're still going to end up competing. You may end up competing against your own person, but that's just the nature of what we are. So then it comes back down to, unless you are training with the person, it's a little.
I'm not following what you're saying right now, brother. Are you saying that there shouldn't be teams that like? I've never fought on a team that was close to my region ever, right?
No,
I fought on Barry's Best. They all the way out in California. You get what I'm saying? I fought with SES. You guys were in Detroit. I fought with Miami Vice. I fought with Rhode Island. As far as straight up All Stars, I mean that's kind of a little more collective where everybody's coming from. So I guess I'm not really following what you're saying.
What I'm saying is, how close. All right. So when you see two people fight each other from the same team, who don't train with each other, and they don't really push each other, they're not. It doesn't seem like they're actually fighting, right? They're just like, hey, we're on the same team, we're cool with each other, and it's not a.
I'm trying to take your head off. I'm trying to take my head off.
Yes. So it's not a real competition, right? So what is that? Right? Are we hurting the sport because we are on the same team and we're not pushing each other? Because you're not training with somebody. You just, only reason why you guys are teammates is because somebody's paying y'all same bill. And y'all have to be teammates because y'all are cool with each other. Are you, as opposed to somebody, you are fighting with that you are training with. Like I can get, let's say, somebody who not even a lot of the times I get disappointed when we were down in Atlanta and we would watch fights and they wouldn't be going at each other because they train with each other. They're boys, not on the same team, but they train with each other down there. So now they train with each other. And so when they fight each other in the tournament, it's they playing around. You know what I mean? It's just, I just feel like it looks wild. Like it looks kind of a little off. So then you put each other on the team and it's the same thing. I'm looking at it from a sport growing standpoint, right? When can you sit back and imagine Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook not trying to beat each other because they used to be on the same team?
They used to be on the same team.
They used to be on the same team.
Not the same team now, though.
Right. And they just playing around. They're not really taking it seriously. And you going in the NBA championship and you're not going seriously. How mad would you be as a fan of the sport? You would, you kind of, I'm not saying you wouldn't be mad. You'd be like, what are they doing? Like y'all just playing around. Y'all not really trying to. And people are complaining about it. That's my point.
Yeah. It's rigged now. I mean,
but that's my point of it. So when I see, and I think part of it comes when you have an affiliation with a team and you're not even close with this person. But and if you two weren't on the same team, y'all would be going y'all would be going at each other. But since you guys are wearing the same uniform, you guys don't go hard at each other. And I see that a lot.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it kind of throws me off. We off on a tangent right now because I just started thinking about the value of what is the true value of a team of teams in our sport, especially for teams that aren't fully sponsored. Like, what is the true value of that team if you're not truly sponsored? And then you have to fight somebody who's on your same team. You're not really going at them. You're not really trying to beat them. You're playing around. You're trying to win, but not really. Like, it's just a little weird to me. You get what I'm saying, Los?
I do. And I'm gonna be fully transparent and 100 with you from my time as a competitor. I never fought my boys as hard as I fought somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And maybe that was a detriment to my success, right? Because I may have lost to people that I probably shouldn't have lost to because I considered them a friend or a brother, or you know what I mean, where maybe they had another level, another switch that they kept turning up on me that wasn't my mindset. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, nah, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna try to beat you. You're gonna try to beat me, but I'm not finna try to beat you like how I'm trying to beat Trevor. Or I'm not trying to beat you how I'm trying to beat Jason. I'm not trying to beat you how I'm trying to beat, this person or that person. You get what I'm saying? Because like you my brother. Like, you mean we in this together. But I get what you're saying though. And I do think it's just, again, that's just how I was. I can't speak on everybody else. Like if you and I fought, like you and I fought each other, but we were on opposite teams, right? I still fought you and you still fought me, but you still was my brother though. Like, you mean I wasn't trying to like take you out like how I took someone else out. You get what I'm saying? Just like I didn't feel you was trying to take me out as to how you would have went after somebody else. You get what I'm saying? But if we both would have fought a mutual person before we got to each other, we'd have probably tried to kill that person.
Correct. So I'm an example of something that was just something behind the scenes that most people don't know. Me and Greg we're both on Paul Mitchell, and we used to fight. When we got out of divisions, we would fight each other, right? And there was this one moment that you laugh at that's on our about when me and Greg are fighting at Caps for super fights. Yeah, when I gave him the pop, right? What happened in that fight is Greg hit me. Right before that fight, we were just fighting, and then Greg hit me. Like I'm saying, like it was a super fight, so he hit me, and it switched for me. That I just started beating the crap out of Greg, right? And so after that match, we go off to the side, and KA comes back. He's like, "Hey, that's your teammate. You don't hit him like that." And Greg was like, "No, you need to fight like that all the time." Like, no, God, like Greg was more happy that I was fighting the way I fought, as opposed to KA was. He was like, "No, man, y'all can't be going at each other, going crazy like that, and being divisive." And K was trying to keep us not being like divisive,
to not have no beef,
trying to be more on the team. And Greg wanted it more so like, yo, that's what I want to see. Let's go with this, right? So and I say all that because, and I think sometimes teams can hinder the progress of certain people on your squad, right? Sometimes a lot of times, because this has nothing to do with KTOC. Let me say that right now, because this has nothing to do with KTOC. I'm just talking just in general about the sport, our sport, and
he
the
went
team
on the tangent, people.
aspect. Yeah, I did. On the aspect of our of the team portion of our sport, right? I think a lot of people, when they get on a team, think they have arrived.
That's enough.
Regardless,
their goal was to get on the team, but their goal was to get on the team.
Regardless of how what you're getting for being on that team, right? Like, if you're on that team, man, I got the uniform. I'm with all these people, these great people. I have a sense of camaraderie, and I think that's what draws a lot of people to our sport, is that sense of camaraderie of being on the team. But at the same time, it may hinder another person's growth because they're on that team. And this, like I said, this had nothing to do with KTOC. It just made me think about just that whole point of being on certain teams. Like, because it can be detrimental to you, you have to be somewhere on a team that is helping you become better.
Yes.
That is the point of you. That is really the point of you getting on any team. Finding a way to get better, whether them paying for you to compete more and go to all these different events. And that way, because you compete more with those paid events, now you can use your own money to go to other events and still compete more. And when you're doing this, you're pushing yourself and you're getting better because you're competing more. So like one thing you said, Los, you said, like, people having it's a mutual thing, right? Like, you're getting something, they're getting something, right? Competitors getting something, and the sponsors getting something. And to be honest with you, a lot of times I always wonder, like, yo, what is the sponsor actually getting out of this?
It's not the sponsor. It's not the sponsor. It's the coach or the lead or the person that's
yeah. What are they getting out of it?
It's a notoriety thing.
So it's an ego thing.
It's for all of us. It is.
Yeah.
On it, like you just said, like I get on a team and I'm kind of like, all right, cool, I'm on a team. This is where I'm at. Like, you mean this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, for everyone, it is a ego thing, right? And I'm not saying that they're egotistical people. It's just like, yeah, look at my team. Look at what I've been able to formulate and been able to put together, and look at the success that we are having. You get what I'm saying? Or I am. Well, you should say we, but some people will probably say I am having. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I mean, no one's getting any return on the money or anything like that. You get what I'm saying? So,
right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I probably I never paid attention to any John Paul Mitchell products until my uncle walked around wearing John Paul Mitchell in the karate school, and I'm like, yo, what is this? And then I started seeing it places, and I understood what it was. Prior to that, I have bought some before. Most of the time I got some stuff for free, and I would call back and say, hey, yo, let me get some more stuff, and they'll send a box for me. But I have in the past, but then I thought about when I go places, I'm like, I don't know if this is official John Paul Mitchell stuff. I don't I'm not gonna buy this. This is not a certified retailer of John Paul Mitchell hair care products. But yeah, I mean every night, but not when I no. But you know what? Also, I will say this: when I wasn't on the team, before I got on the team, you couldn't pay me to buy some John Paul Mitchell stuff. Like, yo, I was flip the bird while I'm walking past it. Like, yo, nah, I want to beat y'all. Like that has nothing to do with it. Like, yo, nah, y'all not with me. I want to beat y'all. Yeah, nah, that's the competitive nature of it. But
right.
Yeah. But with to wrap all this up, because we over time, respect of the competitors needs to not just from the leagues, not just from I think all around, a lot of respect needs to be increased just in our sport, period. Like
all around.
We are supposed
all
to be
around.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that is supposed to be the core of what we do, which is martial arts, is to have respect for each other and respect for a lot of different things. And that I think a lot of times it gets lost in the whole competition, the spirit of competition. You shouldn't be saying negative things to people, and
I think respect, integrity, like, you know what I mean, like all those
yeah.
things. Like, I mean, like being
Especially
kind.
if you're supposed to be a leader. If you're a leader of a team, you have to show them how to. You have to learn how to lose. You have to show them how to lose properly. Like my uncle would not take, like, no. If you lost, wait, what are you doing? Like, no, head up, don't act a fool, don't be up here screaming. He would like, no. You can't talk about the judging. You shouldn't have made it that close. You shouldn't have let it be that close. No, don't talk about the judges. So like, you have to be better than that. You have to make them see you better. And you know, at the end of the day, it was teaching lessons I took from being being under my uncle's tutelage, and I think that is something that I have to give him the utmost respect to, because it's always been bigger than just kicking and punching.
Yes.
When people talk about my uncle, they don't necessarily talking about what he did for them about kicking and punching. It's a mentality of this, or how he helped him, or how he helped them in some sort of way, or some kind of sage advice he gave to them, or something to that effect. So growing up in that type of environment, and having AP and Terry and Larry Tankson and all those guys, Jeff Gears, Mike Bernardo, all around me, what I learned from them had nothing to do with necessarily how to punch and kick. Is how to be a respectable human being, a respectable man. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So you can't being a leader can't let your emotions get over the best of you. Not especially not when you're trying to lead other people.
That's true.
So
wow. Are you?
Yeah, we went. Are you? Yes.
Are you?
Yeah, go ahead and say it. Finish it. That was good. Go ahead.
Are you done?
I am done. I am done with it. My soapbox. I'm gonna put my soapbox away. All right.
No, seriously, like you listen, bro. Like you went in though.
Yeah. I didn't think I was. I thought I was just gonna be like, all right, look, man.
No, once you started flowing, it was a wrap. Like it was
done. It was done.
You was there. You were there. You were there. I don't even know how we snapped you out of it, but you were there, and now, boom, you're back. You're back.
Let's say something stupid. Let's end on a positive note. No, let's say something funny or stupid. I don't know. Like, we'll say this. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets for this weekend.
The 5th.
Yes.
I can tell you. I went to the Philly Lakers game.
Yes, I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, I went to the Philly Lakers game. It was a fun game, man. LeBron didn't play, but that's cool. Philly got busy. We did our thing. So and then afterwards I went out. Me and my buddy went out to a bar, and I saw your boy Andre Drummond.
Oh, Jesus.
I saw your boy Andre Drummond, and he walked by, and I was like, Detroit basketball.
What did he say?
He started laughing and kind of walking out the store, out the thing. Like, yeah, you really a Detroit basketball player, brother. You ain't no Philadelphia Sixer. Let's keep it real. So, yeah.
He's Andre Drummond.
You go put you on another soap.
He's Andre Drummond. I will say this, Cade Cunningham, baby. We got one. Oh, we got one. Oh, yeah. We were down 15-0 the Cavs yesterday, and they came back and won by 10.
Really?
Like, yeah, he didn't score in the first half. Came back and ended up with a triple-double, 19, 10, and 10.
Wow.
And like 3 steals and like 2 blocks. It was like, no, we got one right here.
I'll tell you what you got, Chris. And then we can end on this.
Second round, first round.
Your Cade Cunningham is none other than Ben Simmons.
No.
No.
He's
gonna be Ben Simmons.
I'm gonna tell you who he is.
He's gonna be Ben Simmons.
I hope he's a healthy version of this person, and I think he's gonna be a healthy version of this person. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, Grant Hill.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I can see that.
Grant Hill.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, he is that. I'm curious if the rumors are true, and I hope we do throw a bag of money at DeAndre Ayton and we actually get him. And if we get the 3rd pick, we good. If we get the 1st through 3rd pick, we'll be all right. We'll be in the playoffs next year. Just saying, I'm telling you that right now. We'll be in the playoffs next year.
So you said Grant Hill. I'm saying Ben Simmons. We're gonna have this conversation in about 9 months.
All right. After he's named Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah, he could probably be a Rookie of the Year. I can see that happening.
Yeah. Well, it's between
pretty busy.
Right.
It's between him and Mobley. It's between him and Mobley now.
And if he's coming out late, that might be a problem.
Yeah,
because I haven't been doing this thing since he's been in there.
Yeah. So I think that's why that game meant so much to them to come back and win that game. It's because he was going against Mobley, and his stock has been rising, and Mobley's been here. So I think that's why it came back. But how did you like the experience of the game, man?
It was the whole. First of all, like it was. So what happens? My dad was supposed to go with me. He got COVID, so he couldn't go. So I called my boy. He was a Sixers fan too, so we went down together. And literally, like the whole time, bro, was like it was dope. Like we should have had. He kept telling me like, Los, we should have had somebody with a camera just following us around the whole time, just so we can go back and rewatch it ourselves. That's how dope. Just everything, like from just the hotel stay to just the dudes parking the cars, like it was everything was like it was like a I don't know how to say it, bro. It was like a movie scene almost. Like the game was dope. Like we had great tickets. We were like section 105, row 5, seats 4 and 5. So we was like a real good section. We're right by where the Sixers come out of the tunnel part. So it was like, bro, it was lit. It was great. The experience was great. It was
glad to hear it.
Yeah, man,
are you a Phillies and Flyers fan too?
I am a Philly Six. I'm a Sixers fan and an Eagles fan. I don't follow baseball. I don't follow hockey. But my wife did get me and my kids and her obviously tickets to the Philly game in the summer. We actually got like box seats that she won. So that's gonna be super dope because my son is a big Bryce Harper fan, my youngest son. So he's gonna be really excited about being able to go down there for that. So I'm not really a baseball fan per se, but
you need to be. Your kids are.
Oh man, I can't stand
it. you need to learn how to
games. I cheer them on, leave me alone.
Yeah, no, I'm there for my kids, but man, that's the longest sport and so dry.
But you might get into it. Next thing you know, he getting a MLB contract or go into the. Actually, I think the question I'm going to ask you: Are you a Villanova fan?
No.
Okay.
I'm from Syracuse.
I know. That's but I was looking at all the other stuff. I'm like, he's Philly.
No, I honestly, I don't know. I've liked Philly for a long time, bro. Like Randall Cunningham is one of my favorite quarterbacks coming up. Like I felt like I played like him when I was playing like my high school ball and everything, and then Donovan McNabb obviously going there. But then basketball wise, I was a huge Maurice Cheek fan. And then obviously I like Charles Barkley and things like that. Then when AI went, that was a wrap. You know what I mean? So like
Mo Cheeks, huh? Mo Cheeks is what got you into basketball.
That's when I tried.
Not Dr. J. Mo Cheeks.
Yeah, he was the general. He was the one that kind of orchestrated everything.
That's wild. All right, last thing. Congratulations, Matthew Stafford.
Word. Yeah.
I did. Listen, I have been waiting the whole show for you to say some trash about Matt Stafford and the Lions.
I am happy for Matthew Stafford, man. I am happy for that man.
I'm watching the line though, bro. I might put my money on Joe Burrows though.
Hey, look, I can't say nothing about it. But I'm
Joe Burrows balling.
I want Stafford. I was watching First Take this morning. They said, do you realize that if Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl, he will probably go into the Hall of Fame?
Go from the worst.
Yeah, well, he got the numbers though. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, then it's like, geez, he might. I never thought about that. Like, yo, that's wild to me. Like, because
crazy.
He absolutely could.
Yeah, if he wins the Super Bowl, he might actually go into the Hall of Fame. I never thought about him going there. Then I started thinking about it, like, yo, from 2009 to this year, has he been consistently in the top 10 of quarterbacks? And I started trying to name all of them that you can say. Well, just period. Like this, if you should say
numbers,
but not top 5 numbers, but I'm like, just as far as quarterback play, top 10. And I started thinking about who they are. All right, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson, and Drew Brees. And then I started getting, I'm like, yo, because I'm looking at the people who played more than 7 years in that time frame, and I'm like, who are you going to pick up?
Favre would have been a little bit before him, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, were you going to put Kirk Cousins and Cam Newton?
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. He might be top 10 of his era. Like, jeez.
I think he might be higher than top 10, though. I think
Eli. Because I'm just going to name a few who got Super Bowl
numbers.
Yeah. Right. Are you going to put Matt Ryan over him? Are you going to put Joe Flacco over him? Now that he's gotten it into this, if he wins it, like, what is your actual?
It wasn't him
to say that he's not the top 10 quarterback of his generation. Anyway, man, we all out of here. Let's get gotta get the music back, man. Y'all got me out here.
Are you?
I am. I'm gonna play the music, man. Got it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rudy right now for putting this fire music out here. Los. Because he's your favorite. We will see y'all next week, people. Make sure y'all get your tickets for this. Actually, we're gonna see y'all this week. We'll see y'all Saturday because you're gonna
Saturday on the 5th.
On the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all right. We're gonna see y'all. We will be talking to y'all later, people.